And we're live.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Round Table. It's your boy Bambino Brown. This is the Round Table, Webisode number 11, man. We've been doing this, Coach. It's going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today's topic, we're gonna rap about that boy Eminem and his freestyle on the BET Cypher. And we want to know what y'all think about that flow. You know, with social media, stuff moves pretty fast, so we kind of revamping last week's news, but it was pretty exciting for the culture of hip hop to see Eminem get up there and do his thing and basically slay Donald Trump and talk about the imperfections of our president and his campaign. You know, spoke a lot about the lying of Donald Trump. Spoke about, you know, his divisiveness amongst the people of the United States and around the world. And I think because he's a Caucasian MC, he captured a lot of audiences that guys like My Son the General, you know, couldn't touch, even though I felt like My Son's flow was killing everybody's on that cypher to me. I thought the General brought a presence to the cypher that was well needed from a black man to a black culture, and talked about the growth of youngsters in our community. But back to Eminem, he was able to reach CNN immediately. Right after the BT Cypher, he was right on CNN. And that just lets you know, we can say that everything's equal. Well, how come black MCs talking about Trump don't end up on CNN that night? I mean, literally, Eminem was all over social media and world news across the nation. And, I mean, come on, let's just keep it real. That's because he's a talented white MC. I think he's actually you know, got some brother under that skin, but you know, he's grew up in Detroit. He grew up in 8 Mile. He grew up around a lot of brothers and a lot of real MCs in a real gutter situation. So he's very familiar with the struggle. But he's still white and he still has white privileges, and that's cool. He's also a tight MC. And I didn't think personally, Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't think his flow, because he did it like spoken word, was amazing as some of his other freestyles where I'm blown away by his wordplay delivery. I thought it was cool. And I understood what he was saying, and he would slow down and pick it up, but it wasn't the Eminem of old. That's just, you just like rewind what he just said. You could actually grasp everything that he was saying and not have to rewind, because it wasn't as, you know, it wasn't as complicated as a lot of his old rhymes. But it touched everybody. He said, if you're an Eminem follower and you follow Trump, gave him the finger, told him, don't even fool with me no more, because clearly you got some racist undertones that you don't want to confront. And, you know, what are your thoughts on it, Coach?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, Eminem is a dope MC. He's an elder statesman, if you will, nowadays. And the bottom line is he did use his influence and his reach and his privilege, so to speak, to talk about things that probably, you know, other European Americans and maybe other Europeans around the world from Italy to South Africa might feel that he was a traitor, treasonous, right? Like, how dare you give up the trade secrets? And as you mentioned, Eminem's a dude that happens to be from the inner city, that happens to be from one of the poorest cities in America, that happens to be a melanated city. So he definitely has been influenced by the struggle, by truth, by music, you know, the old town, Motown influence all the way up to hip hop. Yeah. So I like what he did. I wish other European males would step up to the plate, whether they're singers, MCs, athletes. And, you know, there's a lot that's happening, changes happening. You got, you know, teams overseas, I believe in Germany, that's taking a knee. But to your point, was it like his hottest lyrics? Was it, you know, was he in that zone? No, I was feeling My Son's freestyle, and maybe I was a little bit more biased because My Son is kicking the stuff that's in alignment with our frequency, you know, gangster but woke, if you will. Right. So, you know, Eminem's dope, you know, just to let the people know, Eminem is probably in my top 12 MCs of all time. He's not number 1. He's not number 2. He's not number 3. And by no means does this have anything to do with color at all. It may have something to do in the time and era in the geographical location that I was born in, which is Los Angeles, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. But M's definitely dope, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Eminem for having the courage.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, man. Point well made as far as other Europeans stepping up, because I mean this is a troubling time with Trump and what he's talking about. The energy that he's bringing to America is very divisive. It almost makes you feel like every time a Republican gets in office, we're headed towards war. Here comes war again. And there's a flip side to that coin, because we don't want to seem like a weak nation. We can't seem like a weak nation because of the, other countries are willing to go that extra crazy mile. And to me, with Kim Jong, he's a wild dude. And,
yeah.
And sometimes to combat that, you got to have another wild dude. And
right.
Trump is a wild guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty much
to say the least.
To say the least, he's out of control. But that may scare Kim Jong to well, let me fall back a little bit, because it might really cause something that really we can't handle. We gotta. But what makes me nervous about that, and that's another story, is China being right behind them. So you can't wage nuclear war on a country, and then you got the bigger country that's as powerful as us, basically right behind them. That nuclear spills over to them, or their refugees start running into China. Now we got a problem with China, and it's a bigger thing. And I think what M is saying is pull this dude out of office so we could just chill out. Obama seemed like he had the world on a more chill frequency. We're still reigning dominance and being innovators as a country, but not just causing drama. We're pulling guys out of Iraq. We're trying to figure out solutions rather than creating problems. But man, it's deeper than any of us know. We know this is all propaganda. We know the powers that be are so powerful. They're not telling us what's really going on. Trump is just a pawn. I don't think he even expected to be in office. He kind of looked shocked once he got in there, like, oh, what have I got myself into? So that's a whole nother story. Eminem's flow, I'd say he's in my top 10 as well, as far as MCs, because his bars, when it comes to battle rhyming, if you're talking about just hip hop,
right,
Eminem has bars.
No doubt.
Battle rhyming, he's one of the top. Damn near you got to give him top 5 in battle rhyming. But when it comes to an album, how much Eminem can you listen to? No disrespect. Eminem's phenomenal.
Right. It's just a way of life for guys like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Certain people are cut from different fabrics, if you will, and have been cooked up and baked with different recipes. And, me, the whole, I'm a drug user, F the world, F my mama, I might have felt that ways from time to time because of my circumstances, but I definitely was about getting up out the hood, having a vision, making sure that me and my family and my partner survived the struggle, man. And so a lot of times I was trying to listen to something high tech in terms of intellectual value, some players, if you will, from the street, rather with some Jay-Z, some Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Some Too Short, the old Ice Cube, of course, Tupac, the Outkast. Those are the dudes that are like in my top 12.
Yeah. Yeah. And when it comes to MCs, for me, you got to get the KRS-Ones who were street.
No doubt, yeah.
They were just woke. They were talking about this stuff in the late 80s, early 90s, basically touching on a lot of political topics, a lot of problems in the neighborhoods that, directions that we need to head as far as like the edutainment that KRS-One had, Rakim. Of course, the old Ice Cube, where he was, he was more on a positive movement in the America's Most Days, America's 3Ks. That Ice Cube was definitely woke. And I guess you got to separate hip hop sometimes from we're battle rhyming, and then it's the content within the cloth that you're cut from. Eminem sometimes, he'll lose you with the drugs and I hate my mama and my girlfriend's tied up in the trunk. It's more like gimmicky. You can see white America is all on that. And he was great for the culture because he expanded it across, color lines. He did, not that white people were already the biggest buyers of hip hop, but I think Eminem just blew things into a whole nother zone. Also, he was popping when downloading hadn't come into play yet. So he was actually selling units. So we knew there were 15 million people that had Eminem's album. That meant 10 million people ended up having 50 Cent's album. And, that was just a different era. But it was great for hip hop that Eminem touched on the subject, man. You don't hear too many white Americans actually coming at Trump like that. I think Michael is a rap import, the brother who produces films and whatnot. I mean, the white dude who produces films. He's on Trump all the time. he's one outspoken Caucasian cat that really gets at Trump and just tells it like it is.
Let me ask you this, just dealing with the topic that we chose, the headline. Did Eminem's Trump freestyle, did it help or did it hurt hip hop in terms of moving the culture forward, in terms of sponsorship, those sort of things? I don't think it had a negative impact at all, even though there's a reaction from, so-called alternative right, conservatives, independents, whatever the case may be. People that just live by the principles of, hey, you never disrespect a president at all, right? Mm-hmm. And some of them are being very hypocritical because those are the same people that disrespected Barack Obama, said he wasn't a U.S. citizen, said that his wife was a woman, and a lot of other nasty things that you've heard. So, again, Eminem is just kind of echoing and shining a mirror of accountability back to that same audience, and he's witty and he's skilled to be able to do that. That's what really pisses him off because, when I think about music, when I think about hip hop success, by the way, call in live if you want to share your opinion, your feedback, or your perspective at area code 725-222-8144. Again, that's 725-222-8144. Myself, Coach Tony Bracer, Bambino Brown, we're ready to build with you. But back to the music, man. Music is an ancient art and science that goes straight to the mind and to the heart. And so the powers that be that understand the science, they don't want Eminem using his talent and his skill set to affect change, because that's what it comes down to. They're fearful. That's why they're looking at him like, how dare you, you piece of trash, you wigger. You're never supposed to give up trade secrets and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I read a lot of
I think that's the reaction from the other side looking at him. And I'm talking about his peers, people from his, cultural background, that sort of thing. They're looking at him like he's a real wigger.
Absolutely. Looking online, man, I like to read a lot of the comments from the average person just to see, how they felt about it. Immediately it hit Google front page, it hit Yahoo so I go and I look at the comments of the average people and they were saying things like, how could you sell out your race? How could you? And to me, that's where the lines get crossed to me. People talking about you sold out your race. Like, that's where the whole Republican Democrat thing, I can't really feel it. Because it's the same as Crips and Bloods. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. You rolling with your side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. And I feel like it's the same thing with politics. Republicans don't give a shit if the Democrats are right. They don't care if Obamacare is good for the people. They just care that it says Obama in front of it. So forget that health care. We don't care what it does. How many people, there was people on TV saying we were voting for Trump and we hated Obamacare. But then when our rates went up to $1,200, oh, we miss Obamacare. Those same white people that hated it because they don't know. The average American is not very intelligent. They just don't want it because it says Obama in front of it. But then when their rates went up on their insurance, now all of a sudden they're mad at Trump. They had hundreds of people online talking about that. And reading Eminem's comments, a lot of people said, how could you sell out your race? He's not selling out his race. He's using his platform to speak how he feels politically. And I think that's great for hip hop. Back to your question. I think it's great for hip hop. It's showing hip hop artists that you can use your platform. Unlike the NFL, it's uncensored. Do what the fuck you want. Say what, just like right now. We're on our own media chain. Say what we want. Say how we feel. Exactly. Dry, uncut. And I felt like
the real American principles and values, right? Freedom.
But we can't have
freedom to think, freedom to speak. But there's a lot of people that want to shut you up. And, they'll shut you up, some of them, by any means necessary, if you catch my drift.
If you're waking up the people that takes away from the agenda, and we all know there's a bigger agenda, and that's basically what we like to touch on here is that agenda. To me, the American people are just weak. I mean, we just
Tell
weak.
me more. What do you mean? Tell me more.
We're weak. We allow our government to push us around. We allow the powers that be, so to speak, to poke their chests out and punk us, basically. I mean, how long ago should we have had electric cars and all of that? Like, come on, man. They knew you could look outside in LA and see the smog. Come on, it's time for change. But the gas gangsters ain't having it. Pharmaceuticals. Should we have free healthcare in this country? Is that even a fucking question? We're the most powerful country in the world. People can't go have a baby at the hospital. People can't go fix this cancer that seems to be big business. No, because the pharmaceutical companies paid off the lobbyists who paid off the who paid off this. Fuck all that. At some point, do you have kids? Do you care about the future? And as a people, we won't unify to combat anything. We won't stop getting gas for 3 days to change the gas prices. If everybody said, look, man, we're going to post up. We're not driving. We're carpooling. Everybody's not driving for 3 days, no gas. Then we dictate what we want to happen. So for guys to use their platform to make change is very ballsy. That's why you got to give it up to Colin Kaepernick. You got to give it up to anybody, Muhammad Ali, these guys that weren't afraid at the height of their career to jeopardize everything to get the message across for what's right. It's not about black or white. It's about what's right. If they were hanging Asian people outside next week, we'd be fighting for the Asians. Yo, we can't hang Asian people outside or make Mexicans work for free. It's not about, you know, race. It's about what's right or what's wrong. And I think those lines they get crossed now. It doesn't matter what's right or what's wrong. It's just about Republican, Democrat, white, black. So to your point, man, I think people were following, were mad at Eminem, not following. They were really disappointed in Eminem's choice to come at Trump like that. They felt it was like he was selling out his people.
Hey, Bambino Brown, we got a live caller. Thanks for calling HipHopSuccess.tv, the Roundtable. I am Coach Tony Brace. Bambino Brown, please state your name and the part of the country that you're calling from.
This is Masta Phi calling in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Bambino.
Masta Phi, what's good, Brody?
What's good?
What's going on? What's going on, man? How we doing in there, fellas?
Oh, man, we miss you on the camera, but hopefully you were able to hear everything that we've been talking about in terms of Eminem. So we definitely want to get your take on Eminem, what you thought about his overall freestyle, and more importantly, dealing with the topic. Did it help or did it hurt hip-hop?
Yeah. I appreciate the question, and shout out to all the audience, hip-hop success community tuning in today and getting in on this discussion of the topic that we just mentioned with Eminem and his freestyle that has literally blown up the internet. I've heard various reactions from various industries and platforms about how Eminem felt, what he exactly said about Donald Trump. Obviously, it was a very loaded freestyle. I mean, you know, he went from who Trump has, disrespected, discriminated against, who he's talked negative about, all who are American citizens. I mean, the man. I mean, he was surgical with it. I mean, obviously, he came out the ranks underground doing battle rap. So, I mean, it's only fitting that he would, showcase a lot of his skill and cut up a guy like Donald Trump. And I think the most telling thing was when he put the line in the sand at the end with his fans and told them, you're either with me or with the people who are resisting Trump, or you're against me, meaning you support Trump, you support this man who's not qualified to be president, who disrespects Americans, who even recently disrespected a Gold Star family. He's now, and that's also true. Donald Trump has disrespected 2 Gold Star families, and those families and the lost soldiers are both people of color too. So there is a pattern there now, obviously, and we know how he feels. But Donald Trump spoke on that too, about how he disrespected John McCain. I mean, this man Eminem in his freestyle left no stone unturned. I mean, he went full blast on the side, exposed everything. Now, going to the topic where if it helped or hurt hip-hop, I think it just represented what hip-hop is. Hip-hop is a reflection of society, and it's a socio-economic art form for people to express themselves. It's not only tailored to just politics. You can go into sports, life, violence, corruption, all that good stuff. But I think it just fell right in line with what hip-hop culture is. But just like Bam said, he saw a lot of interesting things in forums and platforms where he was reading different comments. I mean, I saw stuff where there was black hip hop fans that say he don't speak for black people. He's not allowed to do that. You know, and I was like, I guess I can agree with that a little bit. I can kind of agree with that. Then you had other people who just kind of misinterpreted how he even rhymed. They're like, yo, Eminem's dope, but, you know, that wasn't his best work. Well, if you really understand rhyming and giving, you know, and doing a performance like that, it was more of a spoken word delivery. People are trying to, like, nitpick how it was just a whack rap. Well, you know, he did more of a spoken word delivery so he was feeling, which actually made it more potent with an a cappella setting and no music. So I think it helped him, and it helped hip hop, obviously. And then I think for marketing purposes, he's working on an album. He's about to drop it. So, you know, what a better way to promote than break the internet with, you know, a roast of Donald Trump, you know, during a freestyle during the BET Awards. So I think it helped him, and I think it didn't hurt him. He kind of got rid of the fans he probably really didn't want to associate with anyway, even though they made him who he is. Let's be real. But I saw Talib Kweli, I think on CNN, and he was speaking about Eminem saying that last line meant everything because he let his fans know, you don't own me. Like, you buy my music, you support my music, but you do not own my thoughts. You don't own my political views. And so that line in the sand was just another reminder to his fans, hey, you can support me, but in this issue, you know, you could be against me or for me, but understand in the end, you don't own me. I have my own mind.
Man, and I can definitely appreciate that, drawing that line in the sand, because I'm a guy that lives by that philosophy. Either yourself, Phi, or Bambino Brown, why do you guys think, and correct me if I'm wrong when I'm asking this question, why Donald Trump has not responded to Eminem, whether it's on Twitter or through the media?
Bam, you go first.
Man, I guess over time, the way Donald Trump has exacerbated his relations between black and white, the same way I think Eminem, after busting that freestyle, kind of drew that line where some of his fans may go another direction or say he's not with us anymore. And it kind of made things a bit tense. But back to your point, Trump would rather talk about the NFL. He would rather talk about anything that will bring too much bad light to him.
Meaning he don't want to unleash on the culture of hip hop because it'll wear him out, right? Hip hop is very powerful. It's more powerful than the NFL. Let's keep it 100. Right? I think he's smart enough to understand that.
If he tweets and says anything about Eminem, Eminem's gonna go berserk, and then it's gonna be white America is now against him as well as black, Mexican, and everybody else is already against him. I mean, there's some whites that are against him now, but if he comes at M, it's gonna shine more light. He probably had to talk to his cabinet, and they said, don't say anything. It's going to make it bigger than it already is. And it's going to shine more light on the negatives. You know, it's going to hurt you. He's scared of him because he'll talk about Cap, but he won't talk about him. Cap is on the knee, exercising his right, not talking directly to Trump. And Trump has made this his personal business to talk about the NFL every other day.
So is he giving Eminem a pass because he's a European American, or is he giving him a pass and not responding because he knows the power of hip hop culture?
Combine both.
Combine both. What are your thoughts on that, Phi? Why hasn't Donald Trump responded? Usually this is a dude that will counterpunch immediately when anybody's saying anything remotely negative, you know, from his points of view.
I think it's one of those things where, you know, Trump, he's kind of just choosing his battles, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, there's no way he didn't see this. There's no way he didn't see it. It's interesting that he hasn't responded to an artist like Eminem, who's broke the internet. You know, people can say the littlest thing about Trump, and he'll tweet about it, he'll say something. This whole freestyle flooded the internet, blew up the internet, and this man hasn't made a peep. Just like Bam said, I think he's being kind of strategic. Like, I don't think I want to step into those waters. I'm going to just kind of sit in my corner and just keep looking dumb and doing dumb stuff like I've been doing, but I'm not really going to entertain.
He's a coward,
that
bro.
cup of tea, you feel me?
Yeah, but why? Why do you think he's doing that?
Howard?
You know, if you were a fly on the wall in the situation room, what is he and his team discussing in terms of making that decision not to speak?
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's worried that it's going to affect his base. I mean, the man has a very large, you know, following of white people.
Mm-hmm.
White people that really, really enjoy his music. Maybe he feels it's going to affect his base if he engages a back and forth with a guy like Eminem, who a lot of people like, but obviously, you know, they feel a little, you know, different now that he did the freestyle and dropped his, and, you know, drew the line in the sand. But maybe he really feels like Eminem is someone I just don't want to touch, man. His following's too big, and I don't want to make any more risks with, you know, he's already in, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, hot water with the whole Gold Star family and, you know, disrespecting them, and then, you know, trying to get into a Twitter war with Eminem, who I'm surprised he is actually even thinking about not doing it with. It's you know, it's kind of interesting, but I think it's a strategic move. I mean, I don't think Trump, he's been consistent on responding to everything, but it's very interesting he didn't say a word to a guy like Eminem who broke the internet, flaming him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. This is hiphopsuccess.tv. This is the Roundtable. Give us a call, comment live. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, adding a friend that might want to tune into this message that wants to be part of the Roundtable. Most definitely share your comments, type those in. We'll share that feedback, your point of view with everybody that's tuned into the Roundtable. Again, you can call us live at area code 725-222-8144. Yeah, man, like I was saying, Eminem was very courageous, man. So kudos to Eminem, kudos to Colin Kaepernick, kudos to all the warriors that stand up to the bullies, man.
Absolutely. Speaking of the bully, man,
I got a question that I want to ask everybody too, because I've been getting that a lot. And the question is, like, why do you think Eminem chose to go this hard on Donald Trump and, you know, come at him this heavy, but like hasn't spoke about, you know, real social issues before, dealing with police brutality and stuff? Like, unless I'm wrong, but has Eminem ever talked about police brutality or anything like that before now? Has he?
I'm not sure, but whatever. If he did, it didn't get this type of attention. So I don't know, but it didn't get this type of attention. What do you know, Bam?
Right.
Now, I've never heard him really touch on anything having to do with any of the police brutality or murders in the community. And I think sometimes he's smart enough to know when to stay in his lane. But I think Trump has frustrated him so much, and everybody else, he felt like it was because Trump is white, he can come at Trump. There's another white guy. He's like, look, man, you need to just shut up, basically. He probably got so fed up, and he's so talented. Him is so talented. He was just like, dude, I got to crush this guy. I'm sitting here watching this buffoonery. I'm watching him piss off the Puerto Ricans, throwing paper towels at him and insulting Mexicans, insulting Obama and Obama's family, constantly lying, constantly not being a man of integrity. And he just felt it. Just, you saw the frustration. Like, this dude is how we all feel when we hear this man. You cringe and you just like, oh, I want to just say something to this fool. And I think that was M's time to do that. I think M has probably had, you know, a lot to say, but just felt it wasn't in his place, because a lot of black people will be like, dude, it ain't on you. We don't need you to speak on our issues. You know how we can be sometimes. We don't need you to talk, white boy. You know, and he probably just felt like, let me just be quiet until it's the opportune time to speak. And then I'm going to say because it was necessary for him to speak, man. It was almost like, why are white people quiet on these issues? Where is everybody? And he just said it in one freestyle, what everybody was thinking, that, can we hear it from white people too? Because we all know our eyes aren't lying to us. And I think that was a validation that there are other white people who feel the same struggle as black people. You know, and to your point, I don't think he want that war. Trump doesn't want that. He said, I don't want to speak on Eminem because it's going to make more people listen to that freestyle. It's going to turn more of my base towards Eminem's base. Eminem's base is so large. If some of Eminem's base voted for Trump, I'd like to think half of his fans probably voted for Trump. So that was brave of M to even do that. But Trump is scared, man. He's a coward, man. Just like, you know, he told the lady who lost her son over in Nigeria, I believe, that he knew what he signed up for. And, you know, he's giving her, you know, his condolences and speaking to her and a friend. And within his conversation, her and her friend had him on speaker. He says, well, you know, it's tough loss and, you know, whatever. But, you know, he did know what he was signing up for. And, like, why would you even – come on, we all know that. Why would you say that to somebody grieving over a lost one? Why not say he was a hero?
I said it was Niger, the country, not Nigeria, just for clarification on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Niger.
Yeah. And thanks for clarifying that, Phi. But yeah, this dude has no boundaries, man. And you know, you could say, hey, your son was a great soldier. You know, we're going to all mourn his loss. He's a hero. We thank him for his services and my condolences. I hope, you know, your family can get over this soon. He would, you know, he'll be remembered with honor or something along. He just finds a way to be a total douchebag all the time. And I think if Obama had any of these characteristics, could you imagine the uproar of white America if Obama said these kind of things? If Obama grabbed women by the pee? If Obama had ties with Russia? If Obama did any of the shit that this asshole has done, he would have got woken up in his drawers and impeached on live television. So
let me ask you guys this, because I mean, I'm hearing a laundry list of the bad shit that Trump brings to the presidency, and I agree. But why do some of the people from the urban cities, whether black, brown, whatever, melanated, how come there's a segment of the population that feel M's not qualified to speak on these issues? Which I think he's qualified because he literally grew up in the city of Detroit. He literally has exchanged in the culture of hip hop and in the culture of the black experience. I'm sure M, before he was famous, might have had some soul food. I'm sure M, before he was famous, might have had dates with black women. I'm sure before he was famous, obviously, he was listening to black music. So, you know, he's had that experience and he's witnessed firsthand by living in certain neighborhoods, the so-called melanated or black experience. So why do some people still feel that he's not qualified?
I think they say he's not. I don't think it's that he's not. I don't feel, like, I don't speak for myself, I don't feel that he isn't qualified to speak for us. But what happens is black people get frustrated. You know, we came up with the culture. We developed it. We invented it. And then obviously we invented it for everyone. You know, Eminem participated heavily in the culture, all parts of it. And so what happens is, you know, black people get frustrated because we speak about the same things he does. Black people do. But on any other platform, we come off as aggressive. We come off as playing the victim. We come off as complaining all the time. We'll say the same exact thing that Eminem said, even about Donald Trump, and we don't get that kind of steam. We just come off as aggressive or as a victim. It's a victim mentality. We're always complaining about something. But the minute Eminem says it, the same thing that we say all the time, that's black people, then he gets all this support. I saw this tweet from Keith Olbermann.
Yeah, I saw that. Talk about that. That was interesting.
Yeah, he said something against the greatest political rap piece he's ever heard. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying?
He said, Keith Olbermann said he was never a rap fan until now. He said, you know, he's heard about the genre for 27 years, and basically he hasn't tuned in.
Wow.
He can tap into that dimension.
But let me ask you this: we know that. Here's what I want. I'm always I am Coach Tony Brace, your hip hop sales coach, business coach, and the way that my mind operates is always on solutions. So I can hear what those people are saying, and that is the truth. We know that, right? But part of solutions is being high-powered. So if you're always concerned about the obvious, Captain Obvious, that we don't get a fair share, that women don't get a fair share. Look at the women in Saudi Arabia. They're just now in 2017 able to drive. My point is, we know that shit's not fair, right? But why not take that energy that he's generated, and I'm going to give you an analogy. Think about solar power, right? There's technology within the solar panels that's harvesting energy, and the sunlight emits electrons, and it's capturing that energy, transforming it to an AC electricity outlet so you can power your home. So why can't the community do the same thing? Harvest that energy, what Colin Kaepernick is put out there, right? So you got a lot of people that's not watching the NFL, including myself, and use it more productively instead of letting it drain you. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So how do you guys feel about that, Bam?
I mean, you spoke on a lot of things, in particular, like
the theme of the message is harvesting the energy for executing the better strategy to make the plan work, instead of just always saying, well, he's not qualified, he's white, he don't truly understand. Yeah, we get that, but excuse my language, the motherfucker has a lot of power and effect and influence that can be utilized in leverage. Leverage is doing
he's an ally. Yeah, sometimes people's ego get in the way. A lot of these people that are speaking like this will never have the balls to get down with the revolution.
Hello.
They'll have an opinion, but they ain't gonna have the balls to change the situation or put theirs on the line to be about the movement. Eminem risked half of his fan base or more to speak his mind on something that he felt clearly within his soul to speak on, and knew he had the platform to reach certain people like Keith Olbermann to open up their ears to my son, the general, and say, whoa, it is some woke brothers out here. Keith Olbermann, go listen to KRS-One. Keith Olbermann, go listen to the last poets that started hip hop. Go listen to so many different enlightened brothers in hip hop. Public Enemy. What are you talking about? You choose not to listen to hip hop because you can identify with Eminem because he looks like you. You may commentate on sports, but half of the athletes that you're talking about don't look like you, so you can speak on their craft, but you don't identify with them. And I feel like, you know, people should look at Eminem as an ally to help steamroll the movement and get it to where we need to go. If people are helping, I don't care if they're Asian, I don't care if they're white, I don't care who they are. If they're helping move the movement forward and help things progress, like you said, women are now driving in Saudi Arabia, you know, why aren't there more colleges or schools in the neighborhood than liquor stores? Why aren't we involved in that? And why aren't white people a part of that? Hey, we're sorry for slavery. We're sorry for this. You know, instead of saying everything's even and lying, why not help get to where we want to be? Why not help aid moving forward? And I think people can stunt progress by just hating and saying, you know, Eminem he's a white boy. I don't want to hear that from this white boy. And to me, that's just ignorance, man. That's just petty ignorance.
Or it's lazy. Phi, what are your thoughts or feelings on that? On just keeping it high voltage and harnessing that energy that he's creating, which Bam laid out. There's a lot of things that are impacted when he's able to do that.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, it's all about distractions. Like a lot of black people, a lot of people of color are just so distracted that they can't even understand what momentum is actually on their side. That's how lost they are. Like Eminem is a catalyst. Like, you know, he's speaking for everybody, but understand we're included in that. So now that he's put, you know, our concerns on top of everybody else's concerns kind of on the forefront with his platform, and put his, you know, not career at risk, but, you know, he put his kind of fan base on blast. We got to find ways to use that momentum to transfer it into more action and more execution. Just
yes.
Hello.
You know, partner that sort of motivation and momentum with what he did. Like, that's huge. From the hip hop world, he shocked the world with that thing. And then you got Colin Kaepernick over here, you know, trying to bring awareness to our issues on the most controversial setting, which is the national anthem. That, you know, that ruffles feathers like crazy. You know, it's about disruption. This is the era of disruption. You know, and the fact that now, you know, you got Masta Phi recently. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Masta Phi wants to get up with a bunch of black and brown investors who have money and create their own NFL. He wants to actually partner with Colin Kaepernick and see if they could put something together to organize and build their own league. Like, he's being dead serious. Bro, I don't know if you guys saw that article, but
most definitely I saw it.
I saw that, man, and I've been saying that.
To start happening when you have execution and you build off momentum. But the majority of black black and brown people are so distracted by things that don't matter that they end up losing the momentum or don't even realize that it's actually in front of them and in their favor. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bill, hey, were you going to say something?
That's an excellent point. I did see that on Masta Phi.
I'm going to stay on the show. I just want to clear the line for anybody else.
No doubt. Yeah, man, we appreciate you calling in. And, yeah, let's most definitely clear the lines. Yeah. Give us a call directly at area code 725-222-8144. We appreciate Masta Phi jumping on the line. He has some technical issues, but again, he's still committed. He's committed. This is what this HipHopSuccess.tv platform is about. It's about bringing you change. We're bringing you content that hopefully you can see the value in terms of raising your level of awareness, in terms of having a place, a space where you can come to give feedback and, more importantly, digest information that's going to help you grow. What do you think about that, Bambino Brown? Why should people tune in to HipHopSuccess.tv?
I think they should like and share because we're a platform that's moving the culture forward in a positive light. I mean, you can find the negative news all day out there. When you come here, we want to have some things that just, spark the brain, enlighten a few people, give people a good positive platform of hope. We also want to promote your brands for business owners. We're promoting other people's brands. We're promoting music. We're promoting a state of mind, which is mental success. It's not all about financial success, even though Coach Tony Brace is the business coach, and we want you to get finances as well, but we got to heal ourselves mentally. And to Phil's point, what Masta Phi was saying, man, is a cold move because he has a league that's a co-ed league, basketball league. I don't know how well it's doing. But I thought the idea was great. He said, come on, Colin, let's get together and start our own league. And they showed a picture of Jay-Z and Puffy talking, and the caption was, I think they're negotiating to buy an NFL team. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. I think there should definitely, come on, can we get one set of black owners in the NFL, which is an 80% black league? But they could start their own league if they wanted to. If they got the right investors together, and started another league, almost like the Arena League, I think, with so many athletic college cats that don't make it to the NFL, that would be an exciting league. It will probably do really well. And once they got the sponsorships and the viewership up, they could entice, more talent.
No doubt. Shout out to Ice Cube for starting this trend. Maybe Eminem, they say he's worth about 200 M's. Maybe he can put up 10 million. Masta Phi put up 10 million. Colin Kaepernick put up 10 million. Jay-Z put up 10 million. And they just use, small college stadiums like they did back in the Negro League, sell $40 tickets, sell out a $5,000 seat venue and continue to grow. And get sponsorship. Hey, yo, if we get the investors, we can most definitely stream and bring that content to the people. So any investors out there that see the potential in hip hop success, get at us. Just send us an email at hiphopsuccess.tv@gmail.com.
And if you feel any topics that you want to hear, you want us to talk about, please feel free to call us anytime or call right now, 725-222-8144 and holler at us. Let us know what you want to talk about on the next roundtable. Because we want to touch on we are here for you. We're doing this for the people. We want to know what you guys want to hear and the issues that you want to talk about. And another point you made about Eminem, Coach, that I never got to chime in on was the fact that he grew up in the hood. And I wanted to say, look at his crew. I forget the name of his crew. What's the name of his?
D12.
D12.
Rest in peace. What's my man's name? He was a dope MC, his right-hand man. That really put him on. Yeah, help me out. What's his name? Dude,
I forget. I know you're talking about.
And it'll come back. Yeah. D12 though.
They were all black.
Hello.
They was all black. So he got record deals for brothers. He took brothers out of the hood and got them opportunities to be successful. So clearly he's a part of the culture. He comes from the hood. He's not necessarily a black. I mean, a black dude. He had a white girlfriend, white kid, whatever. He's a white dude, but his circle of friends were clearly African American. Proof was his name. Good shout out to Alvin. Proof passed away. Rest in peace. But yeah, his whole crew is black, man. So I mean, dude is of the culture. So for him to speak on it, he has all right to speak on it. Give Trump the business. I'm proud of that brother for doing that. And more people need to speak up instead of hating on the movement. If you're not going to add something positive to it, don't hate on the next man for moving the culture forward.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
As far as hip hop success, we want to let y'all know, Anybody out there, if you're interested in grabbing one of these Hip Hop Success hats, or you want a sweatshirt, you know, the Motivate sweatshirts, you see Coach Tony Brace representing. We got T-shirts. We got the wristbands. You know, support us.
We got advertisement opportunities.
Absolutely. Go to hiphopsuccess.tv and check us out on all social media platforms. Check out what we're about and support the movement. Shout out to
because that's currency too. Let me add to that. You know, we're a startup company. We've been funding this thing by ourselves for a couple of years. We all got families, other industries that we work in. We're business owners, that sort of thing. But this is a vision that we have, and we're staying committed for the next 20 years. But you, the people, your concerned currency, whether you're making a purchase or whether you're just displaying social currency by sharing this with your network, by tagging a friend that you know that would want to consume this type of content, this type of information. That's what we're asking you to do at hiphopsuccess.tv. You know, each and every week we have consistent people that tune into the roundtable. If you're not connected with us on all social media, our IG is popping. So tune in, follow us on the IG, and let's make this thing happen.
Absolutely. Like, share. Share is the main thing. We want people to know about this platform. We want you to go to our website as well and check out the music content, other interviews that we have there with other celebrities, other venues that we've covered and broadcasted live for you to see different events throughout different cities throughout the states. And we're for you, and it's free, and we want you to share this positive movement. Coach, before we move on, is there anything else you want to say? How can they find you in the social media world?
Yeah, great question. They can find me at Coach Tony Brace, your hip hop sales coach. You can contact me directly. I'm going to give you my direct telephone number. I'm in my office 7 days a week. That's right. I work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. So you can catch me from literally 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Call me at the office, 888-775-9914. If you just want to sit down with me, 30 minutes complimentary. And if you're in business or you're looking to grow your income because you're a sales professional, you're an entrepreneur, or perhaps you're an aspiring entrepreneur, sit down with me. I have the knowledge, the background, the tools, and more importantly, I can get it done. I can execute like my name was Bill Belichick. So catch me on all social media at Coach Tony Brace. What can they catch you at, Bambino Brown? Yeah, this tongue is sharp, man.
Slice.
You understand me?
You can find me at Bambino's World on IG, at Bambino's World 60 Deuce on Twitter. And of course, you can check out Music Made Me Do It. It's a self-written and produced documentary. It's free of charge. You can find that at hiphopsuccess.tv. And you can also find it on our Facebook page. If you just search through all that fabulous content we got on there, check that documentary out. It's 45 minutes. It's all about the growth of hip hop, where it started from and where it's at today. And most of all, it's free. It's dope. And I think you'll enjoy it. So Hip Hop Success TV, we moving forward. And if you got any music you want us to throw up on our site, if it's about, you know, positivity, it doesn't have to be all, you know, halo around your head.
Yeah.
But we don't want anything, you know.
That's just ratchet, basically.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to glorify the murder of our own people. We don't want to glorify anything that you can't listen to with your daughter or your kids in the car. We want to throw on that stuff that's uplifting our people and making people want to smile, have a good time, make money, shake hands, take trips, live life, and be our best selves, baby, because that's what we about. You heard? Man,
Bambino Brown, we got a couple of minutes left. You know, as the founding members of hiphopsuccess.tv, you and I, of course, Phi has been around there since day one, but you and I, man, basically sparked this thing up. And I want you to tell your story on why this platform is important to you, to your family, and to, you know, the next generation, including the son that you only have that's 1 year old. I have a daughter that's 1 year old, and then I have a teenager that's 15 years old. So we created this platform for the next generation. But I want you to get into the reasons why we did this, man, because it's important that the people know.
I want to go into that because it's very important. Coach and I met through my boy DK all day. Shout out to DK on the beats. He put you and I together, and we had a conversation in my backyard about the state of mind of our people, the state of mind of hip hop, and how poisonous the message in hip hop is becoming to the youth. And with me in the real estate business and doing real estate, you know, between LA, Nevada, Las Vegas, and St. Louis, I see what's going on in the neighborhoods, and I see the effect that when I was a hip hop artist, I'm always a hip hop artist, but my younger days as a hip hop artist, I didn't see as a mature adult. And I think in anything you have to grow. And I think, Coach, you know, your frequency was just on a high level, and we thought, man, how can we create a platform that's, you know, you see all these platforms like Hip Hop DX, you see World Star Hip Hop, you see all of these platforms that highlight the negative, that you see cats getting knocked out, you see people laughing about all this negative stuff. You can't find a site where you can go to and find like-minded brothers that want to open a business, that want to market the new clothing brand, that want to market the new book they just wrote, brokers that want to sell real estate. We wanted to create a platform where people could come together and make moves together and have an enlightened conversation about being productive on this short stay on earth. We all on the clock. As soon as you're born, the clock starts ticking. So what you going to do with your life? And that's what this platform is about. Bettering your life, bettering your next steps forward, not glorifying stupidity. I'm so sick of people playing music around little kids that's poisonous. It's certain things that when you're in a car with a 5-year-old to 10-year-old, you turn it off. And we don't have the respect to do that anymore. We're playing gun, murder, and letting kids grow up. And then we wonder why it's so much murder in our neighborhoods. And we constantly want to blame the white man, which, of course, slavery and all of that is partially the problem or most of the problem. But now we have the control to change it. But we not changing it on our own. We still glorifying ignorance in our music. Because cats have money, they can be fake and talk about dope dealing when they ain't really doing it. We let cats wear dresses and hold machine guns, and everybody sharing the content, promoting it. Instead of cutting their throats off and saying, man, this is not what my kids are going to see. And that's why you see the Asian community, the Jewish community, the white community thriving. But you go to our neighborhoods and you see liquor stores, dope selling, gangbanging, killing. At what point is enough enough? And that's what hip hop success is about. Enough is enough. Let's talk about, we got billionaires that we know.
Man, this genre creates in revenues tens of billions of dollars globally. Hello, it's the most powerful outlet. You use the word that I really like, edutainment platform in the world. Why you think corporate America wants a piece of it? Coca-Cola, Budweiser, the NFL, Toyota, Rolex, Hublot, and Floyd Money Mayweather's fighting. He is hip hop, baby.
Come on, so let's just name a few cats before we get out of here. Jay-Z, billionaire. Puff Daddy, billionaire. Dr. Dre, bazillionaire.
Robert Johnson, former BET, billionaire.
Billionaire. Swizz Beatz, 100 millionaire. Ludacris, 100 millionaire.
Masta Phi, hundreds of millions.
Probably a little bit over couple hundred millions. Ricky Rose, 40, 50, 60 million. Maybe 100 million. Drake heading in 100 million direction. Kanye. We got all these brothers making all this money. Yet you go to our neighborhoods and you don't see one center that's for the people. You don't see one center that's for the youth, like a YMCA, so to speak, or something that brings the youth in and teaches them business structure, or banks that loan to our people. We don't have none of that. How do we have all of these moguls at that level and we don't have one NFL team? We don't have one NBA team owner. Well, we have a few owners now, the Michael Jordans in the NBA, but none in the NFL. So I think hip hop success is just a platform to spark that, to talk about topics that need to be talked about. And it's tough, Coach. It's tough for us to get our people to share it because they rather share Kim Kardashian's story or poisonous shit all day. Shout out to Aisha Goen, said it was a great show. Thanks, Aisha. Peace out. But we need everybody to share this and get involved because, you know, we're having the balls to talk about topics that a lot of people won't talk about. And, you know, with the powers that be that you spoke of earlier, it's a dangerous game when you're trying to wake people up. But we're taking the initiative to wake people up. And we're not getting paid for this. We're putting our own bread into this to make this move. And it's harder to get our people to share it or follow in. They rather talk about bullshit on Facebook all day than the real topics that our kids are going to be affected by in the future.
And that's why I made the point earlier about Eminem and why people feel certain ways about him from our community, because it's really about tapping into that energy. You know, I'm a coach, and at the end of the day, I'm about results. So I use a philosophy of 2s and 3s and 4s, and when you're building these concepts, okay? A simple concept that I operate by every day is I decide how I want to feel. I decide what I want to eat, what I want to digest, right? You do too. So you don't even have to, I don't even watch TV anymore. I could afford cable. We turned off cable. We got Netflix and all that because I'm not here to be programmed. And this was HipHopSuccess.tv is about. If you want to be a video contributor, if you have a vlog, a blog, reach out to us. We want to develop strategic partnerships with you, okay? Yeah. That's what HipHopSuccess.tv about. We have diversity in our ownership. Shout out to Masta Phi, a military veteran that's been there from day one, a guy that's younger than us, a guy that has seen the vision, the guy that subscribes to the principles of hard work, dedication, integrity. These are the people that you have here at HipHopSuccess.tv.
Graduated college from Hampton and went and served in the forces. I mean, come on, we got a squad. I was signed to Ice Cube in high school. You've been business coaching. You've been through what you've been through in the streets of LA. Come on, man. But on another note, man, if you people out there want to promote your brand, Coach, we're getting what? How many views now on our platform a month?
On all of our social media combined, Facebook is where we really reign supreme, and then IG. Just in total impressions, we get about 30,000 impressions every single month. Total video views, we're probably getting about 10,000. And obviously you want to have 10,000 eyeballs that can hear your message every single month consistently. So if you're a personal trainer, if you're an attorney, if you're a real estate agent, I'll tell you right now, we look at statistics. Our biggest market is Los Angeles, California, New York City, Houston, Texas. Shout out to all these different places. Of course, we got people that tune in from all over the world, Japan, Russia. But the heaviest demographics for us are those cities right there. So if you have a business out in those cities, reach out to us. Our demographics typically age is 22 to 45 years young. 68% of the population that watch this show are males, but shout out to all the women that watch it. My wife watches it. So women are definitely tuned in. So I'm just giving you some general demographics that if you have the right message and you want to align it with our audience, by the way, our audience in terms of household income is bringing more than $70,000 a year. So they have money to spend as well.
And to promote these businesses, we want you to send in your blogs. We want you to send in your business, your commercials, your music, because this is hip hop. We want to hear the artists out there and what they're about and promote their music and whatnot and their company businesses. But Coach, how much does this cost right now for these people? Last I was told it was free. We giving away this for y'all for free right now.
Right now, yeah. For the right strategic advertisement partner, we're going to give you 90 days of advertisement on our platform at no cost. All you have to do is send us the material, whether it's video production, whether it's digital flyers, whether it's emails that you want us to send out to our database, or a message that you want us to blast to a text, because we have a database. We understand business. The asset value of our business is our community and our database. So you might want to tap in today.
Because it's not going to be free forever. It's not going to be free forever. We're doing this for you. We are for the people. This is the Roundtable. I am Bambino Brown. I'm with my man, Coach Tony Brace. Shout out to Masta Phi, who has some technical difficulties. He'll be back on our next webisode of the Roundtable. If there's any topics you guys want to hear out there, we are for you. Let us know what you want to talk about. There's some great topics out there I think we need to capture. I'm not going to leak them right now, but be expecting another Roundtable in the next few days or so. Please like and share this content here. Please support our merchandise. And like we said, send in your business, your music movement, and we'll promote it for free on Hip Hop Success TV as of now. But we're coming to an end, coaches. And anything else you want to say before we piece the people out?
I mean, that pretty much summarizes it. But the theme of the message is, did Eminem's Trump freestyle help or hurt the culture? Obviously, for us, we've leveraged Eminem's name, his brand. So it most definitely did help out HipHopSuccess.tv. And shout out to Eminem for having the courage to do this, man.
Shout out to Eminem, 100. We out.
We out. Peace. Stay on the line, Bam.